Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just admitting all you ladies in here. I think we're all ladies here. Yeah. All right. Let's just make sure we have everybody. I'm not sure actually how many we're going to have this morning because I know there's people watching the replay. So I'm just going to wait just a couple minutes here. Make sure we get the last people in. Okay. Good morning. I know some of you, this is very early morning for you. Got my West Coast girls on here. Okay. Just scrolling over here to say hi. Okay, perfect. So one of the things that I'm gonna just mention to you guys is you're gonna want to have, hopefully you're on Zoom on your computer, if you can be, rather than your phone. The only reason why I say that, and it's not a requirement, but the only reason why I say that is because it'll be a little bit easier so that while I'm going through and sharing my screen on my phone, you will be able to actually pull up your phone and kind of look at it at the same time. Now, the additional thing I want to mention is you will have, what I went ahead and did yesterday is I went ahead and made screenshotted videos for you guys that I'm uploading to my YouTube channel. And I made them with a private link so that I can send all of that information out to you after this class. So just give me a little bit of time this weekend. I'll get those links sent out to you along with this recording. So you'll be able to go back and watch this, but you'll also be able to have these videos that literally show you a lot of the actual nitty gritty details of how to use a lot of these features and how to create reels. There's one for Instagram stories and there is one for reels. And they're about 7 to 10 minutes long, but it literally shows you on my phone, screen recording on my phone, how to use these features. So I hope that that will be beneficial to you. I really wanted to add a lot of tools, and I'm also did like a little kind of slideshow presentation too. So I'll add basically all of that stuff so that you'll have that on email. Just give me through tomorrow. And I will make sure that everybody that's on here, even those that are going to be watching the recording that have registered and paid, are going to receive all of that. Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick so I can get on my computer? This is Pam Bice.
Hey, Pam.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for everything. Can I get your ID number and your password so I can get in my computer?
Yeah. So let me pull that up, what I sent you guys. Oops, I could take off there.
I didn't see a password. I got the,
Yeah,
but
I
I
actually
didn't.
did not put a password on there because I just figured it'd be easier just so that just in case anybody had any issues, we weren't going to have to worry about that. So you will want to put in, just looking here. So the ID number for this is 880
Okay.
6720
Okay.
2083.
What was that? 2083?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you put that in, you shouldn't need a password of what you guys were saying today.
Let me try it, but my computer makes me give. Let me do this real quick. 880.
And if not, you're not gonna. It won't make a huge difference. But for some people that are visual, and you want to ask me questions as we go through, I'm gonna have everybody in the next minute or so here just mute, just so that we all can hear for the recording.
Right.
And then you go ahead and use the chat. I'll open up for a Q&A afterwards, but you can go ahead and use the chat during, and I'll try to kind of pop in and out of there too to ask questions. But I have so much information, you guys, that I'm going to be putting in here, and hopefully it will be simplified and easily accessible and easily be able to pick up these tips so that you can really feel good about what you're doing. So first thing I'm going to do is so if you guys can just all mute, if you're not muted already, if you can mute, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. And throw in the chat too. I just want to see like who's awake. Throw in, if you're here and maybe you're not on video too, just say hey in the chat and share whatever you want to add. And Pam, I just added you back in here. So perfect. So let me share my screen. Oh, let's see. Hello, good morning. Okay, so let's open this up. All right, can you guys see that okay? Let me know in the chat so that I know that we're good. Oops, I don't need that. I don't know if it'll let me go back to the chat actually. Let's see, here we go. Okay, perfect, you can see. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll stick the chat just kind of over here if I need to pop back into that if I see that you guys are commenting. Okay, so you guys, let me bring this full screen. Perfect, okay. So you guys, welcome to our Instagram training this morning. So my name's Justine. If you guys are not connected with me already, that is who I am. I have a marketing and advertising background and a business background. That was what I went to school for. And it was right along the time when a lot of this was changing. And so Facebook was really just kind of starting to get going. I've always had an interest in social media. And as it's grown, I've just kind of become a lifetime student to figuring things out and taking classes and learning and all that good stuff. So I hope to really bring you some good stuff today. So we are going to talk specifically about using the stories feature and using Instagram Reels and how to create videos today. This is not specific to any industry. I know I have a lot of my MK girls on here too. So this is not going to be necessarily specific to our industry. However, this is going to be really helpful in just the creation process of how to use all these features and how to create them. So let's kind of go through here. So this is just a little bit about me. As I just told you, I've been 10 years in my Mary Kay business. I just started a podcast. I just kind of started teaching a little bit of this just for fun because I love it. And I have a way of simplifying this material so that hopefully it's easy to learn. Anybody ever feel like, and you can tell me in the chat, you go to take a class on something and you have absolutely no idea what people are saying because they're using all of the terms within that industry. And you're like, I don't know what any of those are. And I have absolutely no idea how to learn this. And so one of the things that I think is very high in my skill set is simplifying complex things. So, feel free to ask questions in the chat today, but just know that I'm going to give you this recording emailed to you. I'm going to give you 2 videos of me actually on my phone doing all the things I'm going to be showing you, as well as, let me think here, as well as I'm going to give you this slideshow as well. That's going to have everything in print material. So I have print for those people that learn that way. I have video for people that learn that way. So let's get going. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm going too far ahead. Okay, so here's the deal is, why use Instagram? Why videos? The biggest thing you need to know right now is that Reels are the most, Reels are what you're going to see is what Instagram is favoring right now. Okay, so when we look at this, let's talk just really quickly about what each of these are. Reels are your little bite-sized clip videos. Those are anywhere from, and I'm going to give you all the details on all of these, but you can take notes on any of this. Reels are going to be anywhere from like a quick 3 seconds up to now. It used to be only 15 seconds. Now it's 30 seconds long bite-sized clips. And those are on a specific feature on Instagram that you can add these little mini videos. So that is what right now Instagram is currently favoring. What I mean by that is when you do anything as a reel, it could be the simplest thing. It could literally be like you putting on your makeup in the morning for 30 seconds and just telling people, hey, this product is launching today, or I have a challenge group that's starting on Friday, and you just want to get the word out and let people know. Instagram is going to favor reels and they're going to share that, and it's going to automatically get more viewing on and more eyes on that video because you are using the Reels feature. So I'm going to get into that more specifically. Now let's talk about carousel posts. Carousel posts are, you ever look at that and you see, and I can't do both of these at the same time, but I will show you all of these in action. But a carousel post is going to be where you are looking at a photo and you can, there's multiple photos that you're adding. So that's a carousel. So the biggest thing, you guys, is you want people to linger onto things that you're posting. How do you get people to linger? Well, you have multiple photos and you say specifically in your caption, scroll through or swipe to the right to see my before picture, or to see what I looked like 10 years ago and what I look like now. And it's kind of creating those teasers so that people are interested in seeing more and they're lingering on that post. And what that does for the Instagram algorithm is it tells Instagram, wow, this person loves this post, and we need to make sure that this person shows up on their Instagram feed more. So you want to know how to get your customers, your clients, your potential clients, your families information, because the bottom line is you might have hundreds of people on your Instagram that you follow, that follow you, but at the end of the day, most people are not seeing your posts. So you might be saying to yourself, I don't really know why I'm not getting much engagement. Like I'm not getting comments, or I'm not really getting much going on. And a lot of it has to do with if you're using hashtags or not, which one of these ways to post you're using, and how long someone is lingering on your post. So you want people to linger on your posts and videos for as long as possible. You want them commenting, you want them engaging, because, and you want them sharing that information, because when they do that, it tells Instagram that they like your content enough. And now their Instagram is going to put your content and your posts in front of them more often. I hope that that makes sense. So that is what a carousel post is. And again, I'll show you more of that. The next is a video post. So a video post would be something that you can, it's a video you already took on your phone. Maybe it's a quick 10-second video. Maybe you are at a cottage. I'm just using really random examples, that maybe you're at your cottage for the weekend and you just show a really nice slow-mo video, and it's only about 10 seconds long, but you show a really nice slow video of showing, whether it's your product, whether you're at a lake house, wherever you're at. And if it's a short video like that, you can upload it under 30 seconds to just your regular Instagram feed. And again, I'll get into more specifics on this. Next would be static image posts. That's literally just one photo. So you post one photo on your main Instagram page. That would be more like me posting just one photo on my Instagram page. That's a static photo. That's not going to get as much action because people are not going to linger on it for too long. Now, how you might be able to get people to linger on it is if you have a really captivating photo and you use in the caption, which I'm going to get into a little bit later, something that pulls people in. And it kind of is like a trick in a sense. So I put this photo up, and my caption that they could see, they couldn't see the whole caption, but it just says, I quit, right? So someone's like, wait, she quit. What is she quitting? So they click on the more tab on my photo, and then they scroll down and they get to read what I actually wrote underneath my post. And it was just that I was in this case, I quit getting in my own way. And so you can use captions like that to get people to linger on your posts. And then the last thing that Instagram is favoring, which honestly is not going to pull new people to your profile, I'm just going to say, is going to be using stories. We are going to talk about stories today because I find that with my current clientele, the current people that I'm connecting with, stories is a great way to get them to engage and see more of my stuff. And I'm going to show you how that makes such a big difference. So the biggest thing here to take away is we got to do more video. And I don't care if it's super simple, if you're literally just jumping on, again, you're putting your makeup on, or you're, curling your hair and you're just talking about something for 30 seconds and getting someone excited. They're seeing your face, they're connecting with you. They follow you for a reason, right? Because you add some specific value. So what do you bring to the table and why are people following you and what are they hoping to gain by being a follower of yours on Instagram? And so I use that a lot for engaging with my current clientele on Instagram stories. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Oh. Okay, let's talk checklist for most engagement. So when we are posting something to our Instagram, let's call it our Instagram feed. Now, your Instagram feed, if that's confusing to you, is basically going to be your main profile. So if you look down just at my little picture, that's your main profile. That's your feed. If we go up and we hit where my face is or where your profile picture is, that's going to take us to our stories. So I did some stories yesterday of me applying my makeup and just showing basically how I apply. And so I can hit and tap on the screen on the right and I can go through all of the videos that I put up on my Instagram stories for my clients. These will only stay up for 24 hours. I'll get into more of that later. But here's how you're going to get most engagement. Because not everyone sees your post, but they might flip through and watch your stories throughout the day just as they're scrolling. You want to post to your stories right after you've posted on your feed. So say you just did a Reels video that you uploaded, or you posted a picture of you and your daughter. What you want to do is hit the sharing tool. And again, I'm going to show you all this on video. And you want to make sure that you're sharing to your stories right after or right before with whatever picture you're going to be posting so that people can know if they're looking at stories, oh, okay, she put up a new post, I'm going to go to her page, because it won't always just come up on their feed. They might miss a lot of your posts, right? So next thing for engagement, we want to post content consistently and we want to tag people. Again, I'm going to show this feature a little bit later, but you want to be posting consistently. One of the biggest questions I get about Instagram is, how do I get engagement on the things that I am posting? And the bottom line is, you're only going to get engagement if people are seeing your posts and if you give them some sort of a call to action. Now, I'm not talking about a call to action that, depending on what company or what business or industry you're a part of, is going to be against your company guidelines. What I'm more so saying for creating a call of action is you're going to ask a question. You're going to ask them, hey, save this post for later, share this with a friend, tag a friend who needs to hear this message. You're going to give them opportunities to be consistent in your posting. And then again, it only works out for the best of both parties. When they're commenting on your stuff, Instagram is going to put your stuff in front of them more. And it's also going to boost your engagement and your visibility on the app. So you want to post consistently. Now, consistently may be different for different people. Maybe consistently for you is like 3 times a week. Maybe consistency for me personally is almost every day. I'm posting something. But if you have a business that you are promoting on your Instagram page, you really want to follow what I call the 3x9 rule. So what that means is, if I were to go onto my Instagram feed, which we just talked about, if I scroll down to my last 9 posts and were to look at those, I should hope that somewhere between 3 and 4 of those posts out of the 9 are something having to do with my business, but they're not salesy. So I'm not saying like doing salesy posts or anything like that. And I'll show you some examples of what I would use, because really what we're trying to do is use Instagram as a tool. If I look on here and every single thing is about my business, people are not going to be interested. They're not going to want to follow. They're like, is that all she's got? People want variety and people want to know who you are and what you're about. You're not just your business. You're not just a business owner. You're not just a mom. You have other talents and skills that you offer the world. And so posting consistently and giving people ways to connect with you. Maybe you play volleyball and you love doing that for fun. So show like a video of you playing volleyball. Like, this is how I get my stress out, when I'm in a stressful work environment. Or share, like for me, that's thrifting. I love thrifting and shopping. And so I'll share some styling tips and my thrift hauls when I go to the thrift store. And I make sure that I've got some variety in the things that I'm posting, so that if I look at this, only about 3 of them are are pertaining to my business. And when I say pertaining to my business, maybe it's a video that I did, a Reels video of showing how I put on my makeup or how to do blush correctly. Maybe if you are in insurance, maybe that would be for you doing a quick Reels video with 15 to 30 seconds of giving a quick tip. Like, here's what everyone asks me this time of year when it comes to insurance. Here's a quick tip for you. Here's 3 things that I would recommend for anybody that is looking at their insurance and trying to figure out what policy is best for them. Let me see here. And you guys feel free, like I said, to go in the chat too. Like if you have different industries and you want different ideas as we go, feel free to comment and I can try to touch on those things. Let's talk hashtags. Okay. Hashtags are going to boost your engagement. You can now have up to 30 hashtags in a post. And even if you do a Reels video, you're going to have a caption where you can write some verbiage in there. So you can actually use up to 30 hashtags. Now, this is very overwhelming to a lot of people because they're like, I don't know what hashtags are. I don't know why. I know I probably need them, but how do you even come up with hashtags? So here's the simplified thing with hashtags is you are going to use hashtags specific to what you are posting. You are not going to post hashtags just for the sake of posting a whatever hashtag, and they can't all be the same. So what I do personally, and this is just me, is I research in Google top hashtags for entrepreneurs 2021. You can Google a lot of different things. Top hashtags for thrifting 2021. Top hashtags for insurance. Maybe you follow other people on social media who are in your industry who have a little bit of a larger following than you. And maybe you want to take a look at what hashtags they're using. And a lot of times if I find that, I just take a little screenshot on my phone, or I, have a piece of paper or a Post-it note, and I just write down some of the hashtags that they are using because they are hashtags I could also be using. The only thing is you want to be careful with hashtags is if you have a much smaller account, which I'm going to say like under 10K is small, which I'm a small account, under 10,000. If you are under that amount, you don't want to use hashtags that are so big, like they have like 1 million people that have used that hashtag, because your post is not going to be seen by a lot of people because they're going to favor the bigger accounts that have the following, that have the consistency, and that have the engagement already on that post. So you're going to want to, again, make sure that you are picking some hashtags that fall into a little bit of a smaller grouping of people, like something like 10K or 1,000 or 2,000, 7,000, something like that. If you found a hashtag and you've searched it on Instagram under the search bar and put in hashtag business owner or female business owner, if you use those different hashtags, you can type them in and it'll tell you right underneath how many people have used that hashtag. So just kind of be wary of that. You can, in your post, you can comment as if you're commenting on your own video or post. You can add your hashtags in there, or you can put them in the original caption that you're writing, like whatever, great day at the beach today, hashtag beach life, hashtag residual income, like what, you want to make sure that your hashtags are specific to your niche and what is actually happening in your photo or video. So you can research those hashtags, and you have to kind of be strategic again with researching them. Do you have to do all 30 hashtags? No, you could do 5 to 10, but just know that it will increase your chances of getting some visibility. How I do this, and I'm going to show you when I, a little bit more when I share my screen on my phone. But if you go into the settings of your phone and you click the general tab on any of your phones and you click keyboard, you will see something that says text replacement. And text replacement is a really great way to save your pre-selected hashtags for different industries. So I'm going to give you an example. I have used text replacement in my phone, and I'll show you this a lot easier in a few minutes. I have used text replacement on my phone, and I have literally 10 to 15 different things that say #1, #2, #3, #4, #5. And they're all for different things. I have one for thrifting. I have one for social media content. I have one for my business. So all I have to do is now what the text replacement does is when I'm going to post and I want to add in all these hashtags, now all I have to do is go to the post, type in the keyword, which might be #1 or #2, whatever I've created the keyword to be. It'll automatically pull up all the hashtags that I have saved in my phone in that category. And I can post them immediately to my post so that I don't have to sit there and type them in every single time. And I highly recommend that. And I will be showing that. Another checklist for this would be to get most engagement is like the comments from previous days' posts. So one of the things that I do is I really try to keep conversation going. And this kind of goes along with number 5 too. You stay engaged by checking consistently, whether it's once a day, maybe it's a few times a week. But if you've posted something, you've got to go back. And if people have commented on that post, you can go back and reply to their comment and ask them a question and keep the conversation going, because again, that engagement is going to boost your post, and it's also connecting with somebody, which is what you want anyway, right? You can get a lot more engagement by tagging people also in your posts. So say you have a video and it's a video of you and your best friend, or it's a video for business owners and it's just encouraging a business owner, like with almost kind of like a positive affirmation or some type of video that you are posting. You can, in the caption, put the @ symbol and then start to type in someone's name, and it'll pull up on the bottom of Instagram any of the people that are found with those usernames, and you can click on them. So if you want to tag a friend in your post, or if you want to tag multiple people in the post, all you have to do is click on that post and click the little @ symbol, like you want to tag people in it, and tag some people that it would apply to. And that way, even if your posts are not coming up consistently on their feed when they log into Instagram, it's going to send them a notification that they were tagged in a post, and now they can go and comment and engage with you there. So I hope that that makes sense. Oops. Okay, here's the cool thing. 81% of people are using Instagram right now to research products and to find businesses and services. What does that mean? That is huge. This is huge for a lot of reasons, but here's the deal. If you think that business is not being done on Instagram and you're like, I just don't know how to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I know that you guys are here because you want to learn and you want to grow this platform. But again, it's a tool. It should not be taking over your life. You should not be saying, oh my gosh, I posted something about my business or my brand and no one commented and no one bought a product. Is that the goal? Or are you trying to connect with people and add valuable information to them and plant seeds over time so that when you approach them with trying to connect about your product or your service, or when you want to connect with them later, they first off are way more open to connecting with you because now they've seen a track record of value that you've placed on your page. But people are always looking to buy things now and to find businesses, to follow people that are like-minded. So much of that is happening on Instagram. So you've got to be consistent with not only putting stuff on there, but there's no point in posting a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram if you don't have people following your page that are actually going to see it. Obviously, you're going to attract some new people with hashtags and whatnot, but there's really no point if people aren't going to see it. So one of the things I recommend is if you have a customer page or you're working with a specific clientele, it's to make sure that people know that you have an Instagram page. So you may want to go take a poll on like your Facebook customer group, or maybe it's your public page, and just say, hey, who uses Instagram? Here's my Instagram name. Go search me and follow me there. Here's what I will be sharing on that platform. So you have to tell people, what value are you going to be bringing? Are you going to be sharing videos? Are you going to be sharing tips for your brand? What are you going to be bringing to the table to share with them, and why would they follow you? So I really had to work on this within my customer base because I had over 500 customers for my business personally, but I know for a fact that not all 500 people use Instagram or follow me there. So I had to consistently show up on my customer page for me and say, hey, here's my Instagram link, follow me. Or I had to give teasers of some of the things that I was posting on Instagram, and I would share some of those teasers on my pages elsewhere. Like if I had a Facebook page or if I just had a public page, I'd say, hey, go follow me to watch the full video. And I would only show a clip of the video, or I would only show a portion. And I would say, you got to go to my Instagram to see the rest of it. So, you're providing things that either give value, value and education, make people laugh, or make people feel something emotionally, right? Those are the things that really move us. Like, why do we share videos? Why do we do business with people? Because we can get behind their mission, their energy, their personality, what they bring to the table, and maybe they just really share great things with us. That's why we follow people. So again, let's talk basics. We're going to break down how to create Instagram stories and use the customized features. We're going to talk about some of our Instagram hacks and those to get engagement. We talked a little bit about those, and how to create a reel and the features. Okay. We also are going to talk about some of my favorite personal hacks, and I'm not going to show all of these on video, but in the slideshow that, again, I'm not even going to go through the entire slideshow, but in the slideshow that is going to be emailed to you along with the videos, you will be able to get all of the written information on how to do a bunch of really cool hacks and use this to your benefit. So, okay. So we talked a little bit about reels being anywhere from 3 to 30 seconds long. They're bite-sized videos. Your target audience is going to be anyone, for using reels. It's going to be anyone for you that you see value in what they're offering. But to use reels, it's really for anybody. I mean, if you're trying to grow a business, if you just want more ways to connect with people, if you're really creative and you just want an outlet to be able to create content, these are really great visual ways that people are learning now, that people are finding new brands to do business with and whatnot. Primary competitors, TikTok is another one that people use to create videos. But the cool thing is that you can interchange. So if you make videos using the Reels feature on Instagram, you can just share them to TikTok or vice versa, TikTok to Instagram, Reels. So there's so many different ways, and you really just kind of have to pick, because each app is going to get a different audience, and you have to know, if you're building a business, where your clientele is at. Not all of your clientele might be on Instagram. You might find that not a lot of people are commenting or being engaged there, and maybe your people are more on Facebook, or maybe you just have to get them over to your Instagram page like we were talking about. So we're going to dive more into that. Okay. Reels versus stories. So these can really complement each other. Stories are going to be more 15-second clips. They don't go longer than 15 seconds, but you can build upon them to create a longer story. The only difference is your Instagram stories only last on there for people to see for 24 hours. And so you'll notice that as 24 hours, as the clock moves, once you hit 24 hours, you'll go back and be like, oh gosh, I want to see how many people engaged on this story where I used the poll feature, which I'm going to show you guys. And you might find that you waited too long, and now that story feature where you had people engaging is now gone. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that stories, that they expire, but you're not really putting a ton of valuable information there anyway. Your stories are going to be more so for all the behind the scenes of your life. And so I really recommend using Reels to do more education and fun things within your niche of how you are attracting people to you, and using stories more so to show all the other stuff, like fun, fun stuff going on behind the scenes with your kids, or other things that you're doing outside of your niche that are not necessarily going to be shareable content, because you really want people to share your Reels videos and get really a quick bite size bit of what you're talking about. So Reels do have the longer lifespan because they actually stay on your feed pretty much forever. Like, anybody could go to the Reels tab of your specific profile and find any of the Reels videos that you have uploaded. So you can caption and add up to 30 hashtags on Reels videos, again, kind of like we talked about. Whereas in your stories, you can do a few hashtags. You're limited on the amount of hashtags you can use, but you really want to stay away from having hashtags that show on your Instagram stories. And so I'm going to show you a tip for that, of how to make them disappear so that the hashtags are on your stories, but people aren't going to see them. It's not going to add more mess, and it's not going to be distracting from what you're trying to post. Okay. Biggest thing I can say as far as tips: be yourself, be authentic. It sounds simple, but you need to be showing your face. I think so many people are afraid to show their face, but at the end of the day, if you don't show your face, you're not connecting. And so why this is so beneficial is because people are connecting with you. That's why they follow you, like I was talking about. So even if you don't want to show your face every single day and you look crazy or whatever, you just, got up, share some real, share some behind the scenes. Like nobody's benefiting from your perfection. People want to see how you actually live your life. I know it can be hard for people sometimes to show, like, here's me with no makeup on, or here's me in a hot mess, and here's all the dirty dishes going on, and, here's how I'm doing life. But that is real to people, and it's more relatable than trying to be perfect and use filters all the time and not make any mistakes. So I just want to encourage you to think about, even if it was one day a week, build up your confidence and your skill set so that you can show your face very simply, just minimally once a week. Okay. So, reels again are going to be more to educate, inspire, and entertain. We want to stick more to our niche when it comes to our reels videos. We can use that to tell our brand story. We can use that as a teaser for longer content that maybe we're doing. Maybe you have like a YouTube page and you have a longer YouTube video and you want to take a bite-sized piece of that and create a Reels video and then basically say, stay tuned, or send me a direct message if you want the link to my full video. So you're enticing people with your video to consider working with you and following you. And really, what you want is you want to get conversion. If you're building this as a business, you want that to convert into people are connecting with you. They're coming in, they're seeing a little bit of what you do, they're connecting with you, they're following along, they're a little bit more intrigued. You're giving them ways to engage. You're not jumping on top of them and trying to be salesy because that never works for anyone. So I don't recommend it. And you are connecting through providing them a service or your level of expertise in a given area. When it comes to your stories, again, those are 15-second clips. You can upload them in the moment, or you can use the little arrow in the corner of stories to save them to your phone and upload those videos or 15-second clips whenever you want throughout the day. But this is where you can really explain more in-depth information and give people more opportunities to engage by doing a poll feature, or by doing maybe you ask them a question and there's a question box and they can type in the answer to the question or something that they want to ask you. If you say, hey, ask me any question today on insurance, or ask me any question today on styling, but you want to give people something specific, and then share your story with specific people, because again, then they will see it and they're more likely to engage, right? So you can feature really anything in stories, right? But again, I would keep reels to specifically what is your niche that you're going to talk about, whether it's your business or whether it's cooking and recipe tips, whether it's styling tips for a clothing business, what you offer. Using reels is a great way. So let's give you an example. Like say you were in clothing or you were styling or something like that. Reels would be a really great way to show a cute video that's only 30 seconds of you putting together a cute box of curated items. Whereas the stories would be a great opportunity to then share the Reels video onto your stories as a teaser, and then go more in depth talking about what comes in the subscription box or what you have to offer or how to style this particular item. If you were talking more makeup, a Reels video would be one very simple tip of a question that you get asked all the time. How do I put concealer on the right way? How do I curl my lashes correctly? How do I do my eyebrows so that they have more lift? Anything like that. But then in my stories, I could go through and actually show full makeup. I could show, and again, I'm not saying like, let me know what products you want, I'll hook you up. I'm not really doing any call to actions because, again, depending on the industry that you're in, you want to be very careful with these social media guidelines, because Instagram will also flag certain verbiage that you use, and they will not share your stories and your reels to a larger audience if they feel like you are using salesy verbiage. So you just want to be careful of that. But you can feature anything that you want in stories. It is really meant to go more into detail. Okay. So I'm going to give you some content ideas, kind of similar to what I was just sharing a little bit with you. Sharing a behind the scenes of how a product goes from them placing an order on your website to their hands. Maybe you show videos or Instagram stories of you wrapping that product, how you write a handwritten note. Maybe it's how you package an order. Maybe it's how you get your kid dressed for school, or how you organize something, or how you cook something, and what the steps are for that. So you're kind of showing behind the scenes, maybe what your kitchen looks like, maybe what your office looks like in some of that day-to-day mundane stuff that you're doing. That's great stuff to include on your Instagram stories, where again, your reels are going to be quick tips, things that people ask you all the time. You're looking for value and education. So you could answer some Q&A. You could do some Q&A with some most asked questions that people ask you. You could come up with your own questions of like, here's probably what people want to know. You can ask your clients, what do you most want to know? And I will cover it on an upcoming video that I'm doing. Top 3 tips. That's a great content idea. In your niche, maybe you want to do a before and after of a home remodel project, a before and after with your makeup, a before and after, and just, make it again, fit your personality with whatever you're talking about. Maybe what you used to wear and how you used to wear a clothing item and how you wear it now that you know better and you've gotten the training or the styling advice. Screen record a tutorial or a life hack. Again, those are very big right now with sharing. It's not like if you are in insurance that you can't share a fun life hack that has nothing to do with insurance on your reels. Just know that when people see that video, they may now go to your page after watching the video and then realize like, oh, none of her other content is like this. And then they may not follow, and that might not convert to a client necessarily because it was very out there and it didn't really have anything to do with your niche. So make sure that whatever you're focusing on, you can have more than one niche. Try to get it as specific as possible, but share the same type of things with people. Another great one is 3 biggest myths. You could share 3 biggest myths about insurance companies, 3 biggest myths about styling of things that people say that you can't do, 3 biggest myths about ingredients, whatever the case may be. I really love to search on Pinterest and Google for a lot of these things. Like I'll put in 3 biggest myths when it comes to retinol, or 3 biggest myths when it comes to qualifying for a home. Like there's so many different things that you can be searching that they're talking about on Pinterest and Google. And all you have to do is type that in and it'll show you what people are searching and what types of questions people are asking and typing into Google and typing into Pinterest. So that's how I get a lot of content ideas. You can share an inspirational or powerful short story or quote. So something that is inspiring to you, that those type of posts and videos do really well, whether you're just reading a quote and it's you and you're looking great and you're in your office and you're reading a quote and doing a video of it and then sharing a little bit about it like a powerful message for the day. Those do really well. Or you share a photo of a powerful quote and then again you have a call to action like tag a friend below who needs to hear this, things like that. Obviously, if any of you are on Instagram Reels or TikTok, you see a lot of music, dancing, comedy type videos. No, you do not need to know how to dance or sing or entertain to get on Instagram stories and Reels or TikTok. You'll see a lot of people do that. But again, stay true to who you are. If you are a very quiet, relaxed person and you feel like you're very awkward most of the time, even if you're outgoing, I feel like I'm super awkward most of the time. But just stay true to who you are and your personality, your humor, the things that you find funny and valuable, because the people, you can't have small thinking and think that nobody is going to want what you have to offer. What you really need to think about is your ideal person is looking for someone like you. You are going to draw in your audience by bringing content that is authentic to who you are. Maybe you want to give people a website tour. And again, you can screen record it. You can just take your phone and take people through a brand new website you're working on. Maybe you want to give them a tour of your office and say, oh my gosh, I just redid my office. I got these from TJ Maxx. Here's some Amazon finds I got. And here's kind of how I organize things. And maybe you want to ask a question in these videos again, so that when people are watching them, they want to engage. Like maybe you're asking someone's opinion, because people love to give their opinion. So maybe you're saying, here's how I organize all my paperwork. Do you guys have a better way to do that? I feel like this is cute, but I feel like it needs some work. Like I'm not an organized person. So maybe in the comments, you can let me know like what you would recommend, what works for you, or let me know what things you found on Amazon that are really great for organization. Like you're always trying to find ways for people to engage. Maybe you're trying on 2 different lip colors and you do 2 different video clips and you upload it to Reels and you say, are you a pink or red girl? Like it could be seriously so much more simple than we think about. Okay. But really, we're just trying to plant the seeds. Okay. Reels continued. You want visually interesting content. You want to, if I'm filming a Reels video right now and I have a ring light, which has a thing that can hold my phone, I might want to take a Reels part of my Reels video or clip really close up. Then I might want to do the next clip farther away. I may want to switch so that I have this is my background, right? When I'm doing my video. I want to switch up my environment if I can and do these different clips. And again, what really helps me, because I can't stay in Reels, the app, the entire day and just go around and film different areas, right? It's very time consuming. So, what really helps me is I film in different areas just using the regular video feature on my phone. And I will cut clips because you can do that right on your phone. And I will just do my own little video clips and then I'll just upload them into Reels afterwards and create my Reels video from there whenever I have time and it's after office hours for me and I can get more into that content. You always want to use captions and again, text that is going to, especially for like Reels and stories, I find if someone clicks on your Reels video and it's just you talking and you don't have any verbiage on there of actually what you're saying, even like bullet points of kind of what you're saying and the general idea, you have to realize that you are closing people out to seeing your content. Maybe someone is visually impaired. Maybe you have people that, again, would love your content, but they're in the deaf community. And I think that we need to think about stuff like that. Like we need to have captions on videos, like either closed captioning or you're writing things on your videos because people, if they don't, maybe they're at work. We've never done that, right? Maybe you're at work and you're supposed to be focusing and you're scrolling through Instagram and you see somebody's video and they're just talking, but you can't have the sound on at work. You want people to still take in information from your video or want to save it or want to go back and actually listen to it when they can put the sound on if that video looks interesting to them, right? They're just going to scroll right by if there's no verbiage or if they can't have the sound on. They just will. So going back to captions that intrigue people. Okay, I gave you some ideas here. 3 tips. So here's some of the things that I've used and written before and that I've seen that really work well. So that again, people look at your video, they stay on your video. They're like, oh, this is intriguing. This is kind of like a little bit of a hook to get them in. So you can write things like 3 tips for overcoming, 3 myths about blank. You could literally just write, wait for it. If you have something happening later in the video that like is really funny or that's like a really big before and after, you can just say, wait for it. Or you can write, tag a friend who, include your stuff. When someone asks me blank, again, you're pulling people in. Or all the reasons why this doesn't work, all the reasons why diets never work or all the reasons why people are aging themselves. Like there's so many different things, but you can share those by adding a catchy caption. 5 things to grow your Instagram following. 5 things to grow your confidence in business. A lot of times I'll just use something that says, are you doing it wrong? Because people will look at that and they're like, well, I want to know what I might be doing wrong. So they click on it and they watch it, right? How I grew. Maybe you want to use that and say how I grew my business over the course year, how I grew my business in a pandemic. Or if you're a mom, I've seen a lot of moms do something that literally just says moms be like. And then it's literally just something that moms do that only moms would understand. Right? Or my favorite products for blank, whatever that is. So those are just some ideas for you. I hope that that's helpful for you. I think that that could be for any industry. And but think about that. Think about a caption that if you read it, you'd be like, oh. And you don't have to be, again, creative. You can Google some of these things too and say catchy captions for Instagram, how to create a hook using my Instagram captions, whatever it is. But try to do that so that you can be a little bit more specific. All right, guys, we're going to get into actually looking at me on my phone. Are you guys excited? Now, again, I'm going to have to curtail some of this information because wouldn't you agree? Like, there's a lot. It's a lot of information. And the best way that you really are going to learn, I'm glad that this is helpful for you guys too. The best way that you guys are going to learn are just by practicing, trial and error, watching YouTube videos. You can watch back the videos that I'm going to include. That's really going to be one of the best ways. However, there's so many different things you can do with this. You can keep it so simplified and you can get into the more advanced stuff. And if you are somebody who already really has a good handle on Instagram, or maybe you, after this practice and you feel like you have a good handle on it, maybe I'll teach a more intermediate to advanced class where I get into even more stuff to kind of build on from there. Or if this is something that's a little bit more basic for you, I still have so much stuff that I have packed in here for you guys. And so I know that you're hopefully taking a lot of notes and we'll have value here. So thank you. I appreciate that. Those visual cues, Pam. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my screen share and I'm actually going to share instead my device. I hope that this works. So hold on one second. Anybody have any questions while I am setting this up with my phone? If they want to drop in the chat or come off mute, you can too. Let's see. Okay. So let's see if I can share. Don't know if it'll let me on here. It was working earlier. Virtual background. Oh, here we go. Hopefully this works. Okay, give me 1 second. There's all this fun technology stuff. It's cool that we can even do this, right? This is something I just figured out. Okay, I wonder if I can make this bigger. Does that come up big for you guys? You can see it? Okay, good. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Okay, so let's get out of here. So like I was talking about before, you guys, if you go, so this is my phone. If you go to the settings, now, if you have an Android, this is going to be slightly different. I will just say that. There's some things that are going to be slightly different. However, let me just show you really quick before we get into Instagram. If you hit the settings, so see how I have my settings thing here? If I hit settings and hit general, like I was telling you about earlier, and I scroll down and I hit keyboard. This is where we can optimize text replacement. This is huge. Oh my gosh, I use this for so much I can't even tell you. Text replacement. We click on text replacement. See how I literally have all of these hashtags. So #1, #2, #3, #4. I have all these hashtag groupings. So what I did was I used the note section on my phone. I figured out a whole bunch of different categories. One's for confidence, one's for my Rock Girl Boss group, one's for my business, podcast. I have all these different hashtags. Okay. What I actually have as the hashtags are not really important because you're going to have your own hashtags anyway, specific to what you're posting. But here's how this works. If we click this plus sign at the top, we basically are going to put in a phrase. So this is where I would enter in all my hashtags. But if you just type in a whole bunch of hashtags and you count out, okay, I have 30 or less, and you put them in the notes section of your phone, you can select it, copy all those hashtags, and now you can just hold your finger down on your phone and you could paste all those hashtags in. So you're going to paste all the hashtags into where it says phrase. Now for the shortcut, you can write whatever you want, but that means that whenever you type the shortcut in, when maybe you're writing up a post on Facebook, on your phone or Instagram, or maybe you're even writing an email. If you were to write an email and write #1, see how it comes up, how you can see how my hashtags, if I write that anywhere, it'll actually pull up what hashtags it's pulling up. And I could click on that. Oops, I could put in #1. And then it shows, okay, yep, we got all the hashtags, and I hit return, and now it's copied them all in there. So that's what you're going to copy. So now if I just select this, just to give you an example here, I don't know if it'll let me do it, but that's how you're going to add in your hashtags in here. You're going to copy and paste all your hashtags into where it says phrase, and then you're going to add a shortcut so that whenever you type in the shortcut anywhere, it's going to pull up that grouping of hashtags. I hope that that makes sense. I'm going to go to the chat really quick so I can see if you guys are okay. Great. I'm so glad that this is helpful to you guys. Okay. Thank you for that confidence in me. I know this is a lot of information. Okay, let's go to Instagram. So here is my Instagram page. Now, if you go to the home button, this is my home button. So people that I follow, it's going to pull up their profiles of their stuff, right? So there's a Reels video. It's going to pull up all these different things. So here's one of my friends that did a video that she uploaded. So here's all the people that it's showing, people that I follow. It's saying she likes their content, and it's going to pull up their content first. If I go to the bottom of my page and I click where my face is on this little bubble, that's going to take me to my profile. So as you can see, this is my Instagram profile. Let's dig into some of these features. Okay. First things first. If we want to, let's just go briefly. If we're going to go down to this bottom, so we have the house down at the bottom left. That took us to anybody that we follow, their information. So we see all these people's information, which we just showed you. If we go right next to it and we hit the little magnifying glass, that's going to be the search. So this is where you can search different things. Now, if you put in here, see where it says on the top, it'll say top, accounts, tags, and places. So here's where you search. You can search your hashtags. So if you're looking for somebody's profile, say I'm looking for, like, let's say I know my friend Brielle's on here. I can just start typing in Brielle, and it'll show me her account. And I could say, oh, okay, yep, I want to go to her account right now. Okay. Say I want to use that little X, and I can X out of that. Say I want to search some hashtags. Now I go to hashtags, or I go under and click the tags. And I want to, so it'll show you tags that you've already used. So these are tags that I've already used to find things on here. But say I want to find female, I want to see how many people follow female entrepreneur. I type that in, 5.1 million people are following female entrepreneur. So like I said, if you have a smaller account, I'm not going to want to tag female entrepreneur, probably not, because if I click on it, here's all the people using this hashtag, and my stuff is going to get buried because a lot of these people have a lot more followers, so they're not going to see them. But if you want to follow a hashtag, you just hit that follow at the top, and now it'll start featuring some of these people's posts on my feed so that I can find new people to connect with. So if your video does show up in a particular smaller hashtag, someone that's following the hashtag doesn't even have to be following your page, and they might find your page organically that way. So this is how we unfollow, we can follow that hashtag or not. If we hit this back button at the top and we look down this hashtag list, I probably want to go with something for my page that has a smaller amount. So maybe I want to go more and hit female-owned business. Maybe I can scroll down more here and see what are some of the smaller, quote unquote, smaller ones. Maybe I want to, maybe female beauty, that has a little bit less. Maybe, female business owner, 611K, that's a little bit less. So you want to look for things that are in some of these smaller, more niche hashtags, okay? You can also go to places, and literally these are just places that have been tagged recently based on things that you've searched. So I don't really use that. And then you have accounts. where it'll pull up literally some of the top accounts, and it'll show you that they're followed by a lot of people that you are friends with. So it'll actually show you accounts that other people that you are friends with on Instagram are following. So it'll actually kind of give you, so this will happen. Like if somebody's friends with you on Instagram, they follow you. If one of their friends was to go to accounts and they have a whole bunch of friends that happen to follow you, your account might pop up on this list and they might be like, oh, who's that? Let me click. So this is how people will find new accounts. So we're going to scroll back over to top. These are the top rated accounts right now based on the people that I follow. And in these in the female category. So if I X out of that, obviously it goes back to ones that I've frequented. So I'm going to cancel out of that at the top. This is the Reels tab on the bottom. It's going to be that one that has the little play button. It's right in the middle down at the bottom. So I'm going to click that. Okay, so let me just turn the volume off here. Okay, so here are the videos that people are posting on Reels. Now, if I don't want to watch a video, all I have to do is hold my finger down on the screen and it will refresh and share a new video. If I'm like, oh, I like this video, I can like it. I can hit the 3 dots on the bottom and I can share this video, or I can save it, or I can copy the link to send to someone, right? I can comment on the video. If I hit more underneath her, so she said, read for more info. I can hit more and it shows what she wrote about it here. Okay. But again, if I don't like the video, I just put my finger on the top of the screen, hold down, and I swipe down, and it will give me a new video based on what I like. Okay. So I can just kind of keep scrolling through. I'm like, nah, I don't really like that video, or I'm kind of, over this video. It'll basically create a new one. Okay. And it'll pull up things. Next thing is the shop feature. So this will be people that you follow, businesses that you follow that again can have this shop feature will be on here. Again, you can shop local businesses on here if you have this type of business where you can set this up. You just have to set it up on your own to be able to do this. Okay, so that's just some options there. You can't do that for some businesses though. And then you go back using that bottom one to go back to your page. Okay. So now let's get into stories. Okay, so on this dashboard page, at any point, like I said, you can click on your profile picture, that little circle at the top, and it'll show you what I posted on my stories yesterday, okay? Before they expire. Now, you'll see I used a poll feature on this. Last call for my Instagram class. I did this yesterday. So I created a poll on here where people could engage with me. I'm going to show you how to do that. But going through the back house way to actually see who's engaging in some of your posts and commenting on here, all I have to do is click where it says all my people down on the far left, like seen by a certain amount of people. And it will show all the number of people that have seen that Instagram story. And if I scroll over at the top, I can look at, okay, how many people replied to each thing or saw it. And it'll show results of who, answered the poll, yes or no. So then I can click on that. And again, I can look here. Okay, anybody have questions? This person wants me to send them the link for the Instagram class. So I can go back there. If I want to get out of this page, I just literally can scroll back to full screen and click the X button to come out of it. If I want to start an Instagram story on my page, I'm going to hit that plus button. It'll give you options here to start. This is how you're going to start anything on Instagram. You're going to hit that plus button. You can do a post that's going to show up on your main feed. You can do a story. You can do an IGTV video. We're not even going to get into that today because that's like way more advanced than what we need. And we can talk and we can do a reel. So say we're going to do a story. We hit this. I'm just going to go back. We hit the plus button up top. We hit story. Now, many different options here. We can either create, and this is where we can type whatever in. We can hit next to get out of that. I can switch the background of this at any time by, I can switch the background of this at any time by hitting this little circle at the top. If I'm going to create something and I want to write something on my Instagram stories, I can just literally hit this little thing at the top and I'm just switching the color. So say I want to keep that and I want to make a template. Hi there. here are 3 people I love. Okay, so I'm literally just giving you a ridiculous example right now. You can literally type this in. Okay, now say you want to be able to use this. All you have to do, and you want to create some different effect, all you have to do is put this little, see the little arrow at the top that has the downward arrow with the line underneath it? That is going to mean that you can save to your phone, and then it'll say, okay, it's been saved to my phone. Okay, I'll show you where that comes in later. So this is kind of the create. This post-it button is going to pull up all of our other features here. The post-it button is probably the one that I use the most. And this is where you can add music. You can add those poll questions. So you can hit poll and add poll questions. Are you having fun on this class? Yes or no. You can just leave their yes or no, or you can change what it says in here. Heck yes. Or no. So I can actually just click right into there and I can change that. No. Okay. Now when someone goes through the story, they can click on that and they can vote on the poll. If you want to get rid of something at any time, all you have to do is put your finger on it and literally start moving it down to the bottom. It'll show you a trash can. It'll go right into the trash can. So say I want to get rid of all this. I literally click on it, drag it all the way down to the trash can. Kind of very similar to if you have a Mac, how you would use it. Let's go back and use some of these other features. We can click on that notepad with the smiley face again. Say we want to add music to a video that we're doing. We can click music. We can add music on here. We can click on this and get a preview by hitting this little play button next to a song, or we can just click on it if we want to add it. And we can use this bottom scroll to scroll where we want in the song, what part of the song we want it to play. And we can also change how we want this song to show up on our story by just clicking it in and of itself. So maybe we want it to actually be doing the song with lyrics. If we want to change it, we just keep clicking it. It'll give you a whole bunch of different options here. Okay. You can also do that by just scrolling through these bottom features. It'll just change how it shows up. If we're done, we hit done. Say we're like, we want to get rid of this. Again, we just drag it. We go back to that post-it note. Maybe we want to ask a question to your audience. What's your favorite clothing item? Okay, we put that in here. Now, when we put that on there and we want to post it, we can send to, and then we just hit share next to your story, or you can send this to whoever you want individually. Now on the Android, I don't know if they changed this, but on the Android, once you click to send it to somebody, you can't undo it. So just make sure that you either just put it on your story so that everyone can see it public, or just make sure that you're being careful when you're clicking this. Whereas if I wanted to send this to someone, I could send it and then I could hit that undo button if I really wanted to go back. So let's go back to this and let's go back to the beginning here. Plus item. So see how now I screenshotted the thing I originally did, and I can go to story now. Anytime I want to add to my story, I just scroll up from the bottom and I can click any photo that's in my phone and I can use that in my stories. So say I don't want that one, maybe I get rid of that and it'll bring me back to my photos here. Say I want to get something that is in a specific folder or album on my phone. See where it says last 24 hours? I click that little caret and I can go to my branding photos album in my phone. This is just how I organize. So say I want to post this photo. I can post that photo, and now let's play around with it. Let's go to the notepad on the top. Let's go to GIF. This is either GIF, whatever you want to call it. GIF, GIF, a lot of people call it. And here's where you're going to have many different options that you can add. But here's the cool thing that you can do. Once you click this, you can actually search for different icons. So like if you're in Mary Kay, did you know that you could search Mary Kay? And Mary Kay has their own GIFs. So I can add those in. So maybe I want to just like add in a little, you know, heart or whatever. And I want to cover up that, so I don't want them to see that because it's like a little teaser. Or I could go in here and say, you know, women. And I could scroll down and pick, you know, what I want here. And there's a lot of different options. If you just click on GIF in here, it'll just bring up what's trending. So I can click on those. I can make this bigger just by putting my fingers on it and literally just going in and out with my fingers to make this bigger. I can also just click it one time and it'll actually put it backwards. So depending on if you want to flip something, it'll just flip it. And I can do that again to flip it back. Okay. Another thing on here, so it'll automatically, if you were in the GIFs section and you were on these, it'll automatically bring you back to this. All you got to do is just hit cancel. It'll bring you back to the main page. Okay. So we could put a date on here. We could do a countdown. This is another really great tool. You can use a countdown. So say you have a new product launching or a new service launching, you can actually set a date for when the launch is, March 7th. It's all day. We click a time. We click off onto the, oops, not 20. Okay, there we go. We click back off onto the screen and we add a name for it, which is new products. Okay, we hit done. And now what it's going to do is it's going to literally have a countdown for new products that's going to show up so that it will be updated whenever someone sees this in their stories. If they click on your story, they're going to see this. The other cool thing about it is you can hit this little arrow on here. If like you're watching someone else's story and they're doing a countdown for something, or if someone's watching your story and they're doing a countdown for it, all you have to do is literally there's a little thing you can click on here and it will actually set a reminder. It'll send you a reminder on Instagram when somebody's launches. So you can actually kind of sign up for a reminder of someone else's countdown so that you don't forget about what's happening. Again, if we want to get rid of this at any time, it's really great for promotions. I like using that. Let's go back to our Post-it note. We can do a quiz. Say you're in an industry, again, you want to ask a quiz like, I did one of these the other day. Does retinol thin your skin? And I can put option 1, yes. Option 2, no. And I can pick what the correct answer is. And all I got to do is pick the correct answer. It's going to light up green. So say I want to pick the answer, say it's yes. Oops. Well, let me do it here. I can just click it to say what the correct answer is. And if it's no, then I hit done. Now, when people go through and they click on this and they're engaging with my stories, if they go through and click yes, it's going to tell them that that was the wrong answer. So they're kind of learning, again, you're adding value as you go. So that's a great feature to get engagement. You guys, so much of my business, when it comes to doing this as a business and getting engagement, how I find out who's interested, who's engaging, all of this is just depending on a lot of the things that I do and that I put in place so that people can engage with me. I'm going to get rid of these. So I'm just going to drag them to the trash. Now let's talk about these features really quick in here. So these are, again, our basic, but just important things to know. If you click this little double A, now on an Android, this looks a little bit different, but if you click this double A on here, you will get the text font. So this is where we can write things in. Hi there. Now we can click on the color wheel to pick any color that we want for this. We can hit the dropper and literally just hit anywhere on the screen and it'll pick out the color in there. So say I want to pick like the green in there. I can hit done. I can move this around however I want. Okay. I can also click back into this and I can change the color. Now, say I want a color that's more on brand, like say you have specific branding colors. All you got to do is hold down on the color and it'll show you all the colors in here. And now you just pick, but you have to be careful that as you're moving this, because again, you just saw it did it to me. If you're moving this around outside of the color gradient here, it will automatically just pick up a color again with the dropper from the background image that you have. So if I pick one here, see how it automatically jumped to the background and then changed the dropper. So I just got to go here, pick it quickly, hit done. I've got my thing there. I can also click back on it and I can change the font. by doing this and scrolling along the bottom for different font. I can hit this with the A with the little stars at the top, and that is going to give me my background. I can hit that a couple different times and it'll switch it. It'll do it without a background. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Hold on. You can do that and it'll switch it. This is also next to it is an animation. So it's the A with the 2 lines. It's going to animate it where it's almost kind of typing it. And it does this a few different ways. If you just scroll through the fonts, it'll show you how they look different with different animation. Pretty cool, huh? So I can add that on there, however I want that to look. So now it'll animate it for me. Now let's go to this little squiggle here and let's write something in. So there's a fine pen at the top. There's something that always is going to appear as an arrow. There's a thicker marker, there's a highlighter, and there's an eraser. These are all the things across the top. You just got to play around with them. But let me show you kind of simply what we could do here. I'm going to use the dropper and I'm going to drop into the photo to get kind of that gold. And I want to make sure that I have it on this thin part of the marker. I'm going to put that there. Okay. Now I can use this little dial at the side that literally makes it thinner or thicker anytime. So if I want to do that, I make it a little thicker. See how much thicker that is? I can move it down. It does it thin. If I want to undo it anytime, there's an undo button in the corner. So I can undo as many times as I want by hitting that undo button. It'll get rid of anything I've done. So that's the thin marker that we can make thick or thin. We can change the color from the bottom. The next one is the arrow. This is going to be, I can pick any color I want. And if I do it, it's automatically going to make it into an arrow. If I literally do a straight line, it'll automatically arrow it. I don't really use that one that much. I don't know what people necessarily use that for, but anyways, I'm going to hit undo to get rid of those. Let's do the thicker marker. It's really, even the thicker marker, that's going to be less transparent, is very thin, but I'm going to move it to make it thicker. It's more of the transparent marker. Okay. I'm going to undo to get rid of those at the top left. Then there's a highlighter. Let's do that one. So I'm going to change the color and I'm going to highlight. Now that's super thick, so I'm going to undo. I don't like that. I'm going to bring it down really small. And I can add whatever I want with the highlighter. Again, if I need to undo, I can do that quickly. Or if I say I did something like this and I want to get rid of these, I can hit the eraser and literally use the eraser to get rid of anything that I did that I don't like if I don't want to hit undo. Okay, the eraser can also be used with this tool on the side to make it thicker or thinner there. All right. But when you're done making a story, again, you can hit done. You can either save this to your phone by hitting that downward arrow with the line underneath it, or you can, if you're ready to share it to your story right then, you'll see a thing on the bottom that says close friends. You can set up what your close friends are. You can hit the thing that says your story, but you can just hit send to and click where it says share to story, your story, which is the first one there, send to the close people, or you can pick individually who you want to send that to. Okay. Notice that I can literally move the screen at any time. One last thing for here too is if you want to filter any photo, which I don't need to because these photos are gorgeous, but if I want to filter any photo at any time or any video, all I got to do is swipe to the left with my finger. And I can use any of the filters that I want. So see how it's changing the photo. And it'll tell you what filter it is. And it'll bring you all the way through about almost, well, probably 10 of them until it brings you back to, so it'll take you through black and white and until it brings you back to normal with no filter. Okay. Is that helpful to you guys? I hope so. So that's all the features for stories. Okay. Now, Reels is going to be a little bit of a difficult one to teach because obviously we can't do 100% video and 100% on here. But what I will say is I did screen record a video of me doing Reels. So I know that that's going to be helpful to you. Let me get rid of this quick. Okay, so let's come off my phone and back onto here. Okay, so what I'm going to give you some basic information on Reels. And then again, after this class, I'm going to email you all an actual screen recording video on my phone, pretty much like what you just saw with stories. And it's going to show you everything that happened with Instagram Reels and how I create videos that way. And I also have all the information in a text form in some of these things that are going to be included in the slideshow. So one of the misconceptions about Reels is that most people will say that most people will say it's really hard to make Reels because it's super time consuming, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, because you can literally use, like we were talking about, your video on your phone to do little clips. Like if I wanted to take a video of one thing that I was doing, I could take a 5 to 6 second clip and then end the video, take another 5 to 6 second clip, end the video. And then I can use any type of video service. I personally use Splice. I've had a lot of people ask me about this. I use Splice and I actually pay for it. I think it's like $40 for the year, but I do videos all the time. So that's a write-off for me. They also do have a free version, and there's different video apps like InShot and a lot of these ones that people use, but you could literally take all of your own video clips and edit it down to 30 seconds or 15 seconds, and then just upload that as, save it to your phone, and then upload that as a video into the Reels on your device. Okay. So that's a really great way to do that too. And you can upload those individually or create teasers. So what makes a reel go viral? We talked about shareable content. This is huge. You really want to strategize before you do your videos. So I actually batch my work. I figure out what are 3 to 5 videos that I'm going to film today on a Wednesday from 12 to 2 o'clock. But I don't look for the music or the content of what I'm going to be covering in that 2-hour block. That's when I'm actually filming the videos. So what makes this go viral is having planned out topics. So I spend an hour on the weekends. And again, I do research on Google and Pinterest, and I look for what are popular videos. I look for videos that are similar to my niche and my industry, and what videos went viral this week. What are things that I've seen it a million times when I scroll the Reels feature and see other people's videos. So I come up with 3 to 4 ideas, whether it's like top searches, top beauty searches 2021, and I search it into Pinterest or Google. I look for things that people want to know how to do. Do they want to know how to do winged eyeliner? Do they want to know how to do styling? How do I style black leggings? Do they want to know how to fill out paperwork for different insurance stuff? Like, what are people actually searching within your industry? And you really want to do your market research and then plan out, like, here's what I'm going to talk about. Here are the 3 things I'm going to say. And you want to have that planned out if you can ahead of time, because it just makes it a lot easier, right? You want to do that market research. Relatability of content is huge. Again, we get questions so many times. You can write down a list of all the questions that your clientele or your customers ask you, or that they're asking Google or someone else. And then you can literally say, I'm going to do a video on that, right? You want to use stuff that sparks comments. So you don't want to give everything away. So a lot of times when I'm showing a product, I will like show a product like a finishing spray or something. And again, this is specific somewhat to my industry, but I will show a product, but I won't actually say what the product is. I'll just be like, this is my favorite product ever. Here's what it does. And I actually don't name what the product is. And then what happens is people end up watching the video and they message me and they're like, what was that you were using yesterday? I want to put that on my wish list, or I want to get that. That happens a lot. So again, you want to you don't want to give everything away. You want to share bite-sized pieces and teasers for people that they're going to want to come back for more. Using popular songs or dances or other trending ideas. Don't be afraid to create and be yourself. Like, do something that is unique to you. Anybody get this Schitt's Creek reference? Okay, so again, you might be saying, I do not want myself to be on video, but what I'm going to tell you is just, again, stay true to yourself. Maybe you want to screen record something on your phone like we talked about, and I actually have that information on how to screen record in a video that is going to be going up as well. And there's also information in the bottom of this pamphlet as well. But could you go once a week showing your face? Could you share one tip? Even if you're in your sweatpants and you're looking relaxed, but it's authentic to you, and that's how you actually look, and you just put on a little bit of makeup, whatever you feel, somewhat confident in, just try to be relatable to your people. Okay. Reels engagement hacks. Make sure that you toggle when you are uploading a reel. There's a little thing underneath when you go to do a reel, and you'll see this because I'll show it to you in that video that I'm including. There's a thing that says also share to feed. And that means that it's going to go on your feed on your phone. So it's not just going to go on your Reels feed. So if you like, if I was on my phone right now, I have my posts that automatically come up, but right next to it is the Instagram Reels tab. So anybody that goes to my page could hit that Instagram Reels tab, and all of my videos that I've ever done in Reels and uploaded will show up there. So this is how you get them to stay on your feed, is you got to make sure you toggle also share to feed and do that, and it will boost it. Using hashtags, we talked about that. You can use up to 30. I'm not going to get into that anymore. Engaging back. If people are commenting on your stuff, make sure that you're engaging back. But again, keep the conversation going. You want to track how many people are watching your videos. So if you go back to videos that you've posted, it'll actually show you how many views you had on your videos. And you can see like how many people commented, how many views did I get? And as you start to do more videos, you'll start to see that some will be more popular than others. So you want to start to keep that in mind, because the better that you can look at that and know that, the better that you are able to create similar content in the future. If there's things that you did and you're like, wow, nobody really like engaged, like nobody even viewed it, right? I had like very limited views, then maybe it's a topic or something that didn't make sense to people, or maybe you didn't have subtitles and people couldn't read it, so therefore they didn't watch the rest of the video. You want to keep all those things in mind. Okay, so again, I'm going to include the Reels live tutorial video that I did. That's going to be on a private link on my YouTube. Okay. This is basically just a reminder of things that we did. It's basically going to tell you what each of the things that I showed you on stories, what each of those things are. All right. So this is for reference later. And this is the same thing. This is just going to be notes for things that we already went over, like how to do sizing, how to change up your color palette, how to save to your phone, how to change the font, and how to create animated text. Okay, so all these are going to be included for you. All right. Same thing. These are some additional features that I'm not going to get into today, but this tells you how to do them. How to add hashtags to your stories and make them disappear. I might actually do a class on some of these other advanced features, but at least I kind of tell you how to do them. So if you're somebody who's a learner and you just want to jump on and learn how to do it, they have a great green screen feature on Instagram, which means I could take a picture of questions that people asked me in those polls and how they engaged. I could add that as a background using green screen, and then I could do a video of me talking over it as if I can point to those items and the questions that they were asking. There's also the countdown feature. The countdown is really great for, again, setting launches and things like that. But there's also a countdown feature for Reels so that you have 3 seconds to get where you need to be. And then it will count down and it'll go through the video so that you can complete the video. And I show this in the video included. Screen recording. This is how you set up screen recording and how you use screen recording. Again, this is also included, and kind of my pro tips for that. How to create a gallery. This is another question I get a lot of. How do I create a gallery? Like if I want to do an Instagram thing where I have multiple photos, like almost like a collage on my Instagram story, and I can choose a bunch of different photos there rather than just having it be one photo. This is how you do that and how you select the photos. So I give you all the breakdown of how to figure that out. Okay, as we close up today, any questions of things that I did not cover? And then I can kind of let you know what, because we're coming up on our time here. So I want to be respectful to everyone's time. What questions do you guys have for me? I know that this is a lot of information. Again, that's why this was really challenging to do in a class, because there's no way to do it and be able to share both screens and show you everything in action to the fullest extent, which is why I came up with the idea yesterday of just doing screen recording myself, going through all of the things I taught you today. That way you can have a private link to that and you can just watch that as many times as you want to learn. So I hope that those things are helpful to you for both stories and Reels. Again, we couldn't get into Reels as much because of the complexity of I can't record reels and be sharing my screen on my phone at the same time. And I can't do it on a desktop. So those are just not options. But again, I do have videos for you breaking all that down. Any questions? Are you guys like totally overwhelmed? So go to the chat if you have anything that you'd like me to know that you want to share with me. Let me get rid of this share. Okay. So any questions that I can answer as we close up today? Okay. Yeah, so you guys, so just as a reminder, as we close out today, there's going to be a playback. Like I said, just give me a little bit of time because I'm going to have to finagle getting the recording downloaded and then adding, let me think here. I got to get the recording downloaded. And then I also have the private links for YouTube as well, so that you can go ahead and rewatch those on your own. And also, it goes without saying, but if you want to connect with me, my Instagram handle is jwenzel29. That's JWENZEL 29 is my Instagram handle. So if you want to follow along, I give a lot of tips on there too, and some videos, as well as just breaking down and simplifying some of these things. So you can connect with me there. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out. You guys have my email, and I'll be sending out that information in the next 24 hours. So I appreciate your patience and being involved in this so we could do it. I hope that you guys had fun and that it was a good starter for what we did today. So thank you guys for being on here, and we will talk soon. Stay tuned. Bye, friends.